Assalamualaikum everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss about imagery. If I'm not mistaken, with this idea, something comes in your mind. Let's see whatever is coming in your mind. Is it okay or not? When we talk about imagery, it is what? It is basically when a writer uses imagery, the descriptive writing helps to create a picture or image in our mind. And imagery is the descriptive writing that appeals to the sense. Which sense? Your five senses. Your sense of auditory, olfactory, gustatory, tactile. These are basically all are the part of imagery. So let's check one after one. When we talk about the types of imagery, as many senses you have, as many types of imageries we have. First is auditory, which describes about what we hear, maybe a music, a silence, a noise, is all the examples of auditory. When we talk about the visual means we are talking about what can we see in our imagination. It may be a color, pattern, shape, size, buildings, places, anything. Tactile describes what we touch or feel. When we talk about tactile, it means we can feel the texture, the movement, the temperature. When on the other hand, then we have the gustatory. When we talk about the gustatory, it's all about the taste, the sour, bitter, sweet, salty, acidic, what. So it's all about taste. Olfactory is, it describes what we smell, nice fragrance, bad odor, what is this? This is olfactory. Olfactory basically relates to smell. Visual imagery. Visual imagery is all about our vision, the thing those we can see in our imagination. Visual imagery is a memory technique that involves constructing mental images when learning new information in order to be able to better recall the information. Visual imagery may include colors such as burnt red, bright orange, dull golden, dull yellow, green, any color. Then further, you may visualize shapes such as circular, square, rectangular, conical. It may all about the buildings, the places, if we say the Eiffel Tower. So this is all about our visual, the things those start coming in our mind, different visuals. That is basically all about the visual imagery. For instance, in our one of the books of English, the poem I Dream a World, which is mentioned over there, it is the best example of visual imagery. I dream a world in I Dream a World by Langston. Langston is asking, I dream a world where man no other man will scorn. If you see, there is a visual imagery when men does not laugh on another man. So men no other man will scorn. Suddenly, promptly, a visual comes in our mind when the people, they are not laughing at one another. Then if I talk about in the 8th line or 9th line, a world I dream where black or white, whatever race you may be. So when we say the black or white, so suddenly the black or white people start coming in our mind. Will share the bounties of the earth. Then bounties of the earth, we know there are many things those have been given to us by Almighty. On earth, earth is full of blessings of Almighty. So numerous bounties of the earth start coming in our mind. What does it mean? It means this is all about our vision, our visual. And then in the third last line, enjoy like a pearl. Again, a pearl, suddenly a pearl come in our mind. So what does it mean? This is all about the visual imagery, visual concepts. Then auditory imagery. When we talk about the auditory imagery, it is used to explain things, ideas, and actions using sounds that appeal to our sense of hearing, right? It is intended to invoke up sound images in the minds of the readers. So when we talk about auditory imagery, it is all about the sense of hearing. For instance, in literature, it means to use words and literary devices in a way that they make readers experience sounds when reading poetry or prose. Like the blades of grass, again, is the best example where the writer asked or he writes in a way that God is talking to little blades of grass. Now, see, some little blades of grass stood before God. What did you do? Who is asking so? Almighty God. So what did you do? It is what that Almighty is asking and you are hearing. This is what? This is basically the auditory imagery, right? Then if we move ahead, again, presently God said, and what did you do? The little blade answered, oh my Lord, memory is bitter to me, for if I did good deeds, I know not of them. What is this? Again, auditory. Like someone is asking and you are hearing. Then we move into the last lines. Then God in all his splendor arose from his throne. Oh, best little blade of grass, he said. What is this? Again, you are hearing that Almighty is talking. Once before this little blade was also talking to Almighty. It was answering to Almighty. So what is this? This is all auditory. Then we have olfactory. Olfactory imagery, it pertains to aromas, scents, or the sense of smell. It's all about odors, aromas, scents, or the sense of smell. This is called olfactory. For instance, if we say this silently inhale the clear scented gale and the vapors that arise from the well-watered and smoking soil. Here you can smell, there is a smell of a smoke, clover scented gale. What is this here? Longfellow, he has used in his poem Rain in Summer. He is talking about the flowers, scented breeze and smoking soil. It's paint a clear picture in the reader's mind about the smells after rainfall. For a moment, reader finds himself between the prevailing scents of post-rain time. So here you can smell. This is the sense of a smell. That's why it is called olfactory. Then we have gustatory. When we talk about gustatory imagery, it refers to imagery related to the sense of taste. In other words, with gustatory imagery, the writer describes what is being tasted. Those descriptions should create pictures in your mind that make you think about that taste. I have eaten the plums that were in the ice box and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet. Again, in these lines, the words delicious and so sweet are telling about the taste of the plums. We can take other examples like yummy pizza. See, again, yummy pizza. Now, what is this? It is telling you about that sense of taste. How is it? It's a yummy. Bitter, bitter gourd. So now the sense of taste is asking the bitter gourds are bitter. Then we have tactile. Tactile, the word tactile means that something is able to be touched. When writers use tactile imagery, they are describing something by focusing on the aspect that the reader could feel or touch something. For instance, example, I had no choice but to pet his cotton soft fur. Now, what is this to pet? To pet is showing what? That something has been touched, right? As she wiped the sweat from her brow, she realized her skin was just as cold and sticky. Now, wiped the sweat from her brow. What does it mean? It means that she was touching her skin. This is the feeling, the sense of tactile. So see, we have basically done 5 type of imageries. Your imagery is related to your 5 senses. Like you have the imagery or the sense of observing or seeing something, it's mean this is visual. When you hear something, it's mean auditory. When you smell something, it's olfactory. When you taste, it's mean gustatory, and when you touch, it's tactile. Now, types of imageries you have to mention here from the poems, from the literature. A few examples have been quoted. You have to go through it and you have to find it out what is the right possible answer. The first one, the rumbling sound of lot on lot of apples coming in. The rumbling sound of lot on lot of apples coming in. Think about it. Rumbling sound, auditory. Then from solitary ripper, reaping and singing by herself, more welcome notes to vary bands. Reaping and singing by herself, more welcome notes to vary bands. Now the answer is visual imagery. The next, from the poem, if there is another example which has been taken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. Visual. Then we have a single whiff of our mother's favorite flower can take us back in time. A single whiff of our mother's favorite flower. Whiff of our mother's favorite flower is a clue word to detect the imagery, olfactory. After you stop sniffing those scones, you are going to want to sink your teeth into one. Answer please. Gustatory, right? Stop sniffing those scones, you are going to want to sink your teeth into one. Okay, let's take a quick review. Today we have basically done imageries, and when we talk about imageries, all imageries belong to our 5 senses. First is visual imagery, it means sight. Then auditory imagery belongs to hearing. Olfactory imagery belongs to smell. Gustatory imagery belongs to taste. Last but not least, tactile imagery belongs to our sense of touch. If you have any questions, you can send in comment box. This is an activity for you and I'm leaving it with you. You have to do it by yourself and try to find it out how much you are capable to do imageries now, and either this section is clear or there is something which is left behind. Thank you from my side.